Channel. Okay, y'all, how are you? I hope everyone have a really good day and is having a great night. I'm back with my video, y'all. I have to do it again because it was a mess. So before we get started, my name is Tiana. I do all kinds of things on my channel. Following my micro Locs journey is the biggest thing, but we do other stuff here, like talk about hair care and different hairstyles and singing and sewing and all of that good stuff. And before I get my little hopes up, you know, let me check this out on another device because this is ridiculous. Okay, so ignore the playback. And yes, y'all, I was gonna check because, okay, so I had to do this video again because I tried it yesterday, I think it was, and I was so proud of me for getting this video done because I was in the middle of doing something else and I stopped and I did this video. Was proud of me, and yeah, and I did it on my phone for the first time ever, and it totally let me be recording the whole time sideways, and it did tell me to flip it, but then it went off, so I thought it adjusted it. A mess. But anywho, this is why I always have to check it out on my phone, because when I don't check it out on my phone, nonsense happens. But I didn't have my iPad, which I usually record on, so I was using my phone to record and I had nothing to check it, and that's what happens. So anyways, today we are talking about a hair growth regimen. So we're in the part of our book where we finally get to the step-by-step what you should do and how you should do your hair. And so we're gonna go through it again. I'm a little frustrated because now I gotta hope that I say it all the same way I said it yesterday, because it was a good chapter. It was a good little chapter there. All right, let me find the book real quick. Oh my goodness, and I worked so hard to get it done yesterday. I worked so hard to get it done. I had to find a tripod. Little baby Saya let me use her little iPod tablet so I can read the book. I worked so hard, and I couldn't figure out how to download the video and flip the video over. Even though most of us watch our videos like this, but whatever. Okay, we're getting to a step-by-step regimen. Remember, she is calling this the O'Hara method. So can't even remember all the reason why she changed her name. But if you go to the first few chapters of this book that we read, then maybe we said it, then I don't remember. I just don't remember. So now I gotta go back. Okay. Make sure I got this. Okay, so we just finished talking about protective styles. If you didn't get that video, make sure you check that one out. It was a few lives ago. And then yesterday Monday. Yeah, it was a pretty good video. I think it was Monday. Anyway, we talked about different types of hair texture and why certain hair is easier to retain length. But, you know, we usually say it's easier to grow. So yes, we're talking about the O'Hara method. She's giving you a step-by-step regimen. She's going to give you a general idea, and then she's going to break it down by days. Then she's going to break it down by what you should be doing every week, and break it down by what you should be doing every single month. So here we go. The core of the O'Hara method is all organic, all natural. It's based on a step-by-step process. It is understanding how to feed the hair what it needs and how to trigger an accelerated and above average growth spurt. And this method only encapsulates all the previous information in this book. Creating a tight step-by-step regimen will allow you to see the effects of this process. So not only is this like a hair growth regimen, but it is also a way to accelerate growth. So it's a way for you, I'm just trying to remember everything I said yesterday. I'm so frustrated. It's a way for you to accelerate growth so that you're not only growing your hair like you normally would, but how could you grow it faster? So number one, first thing you need to do is add a dietary supplement and herbs to create a nutritional base, because of course hair growth and good hair care and the way your hair looks and feels and retaining length all comes from you, from the inside as well as the outside. So what goes in your body as well as the outside. So our diet does not always supply us with the ideal nutrients for growth. So by supplementing your diet with increased nutrition, you ensure not only longer hair, but healthier hair as well. And those supplements not only benefit the hair, but they will benefit the nails and skin as well. Okay, so when I first read this book years ago, we did get from this book, which you'll read about later, but we did try the biotin. We tried vitamin E, is always a staple one that I really like for myself, because I can tell instantly that vitamin E works. Like usually when I'm doing hair a lot, my nails break off from doing hair, but when I take vitamin E, then my nails, I can see them getting stronger and longer from taking vitamin E. So I always like vitamin E. I know if my nails are growing longer, then my hair is growing as well. So vitamin E is always a good one. I love vitamin E. And then they say it's always good to take vitamin E. It's supposed to be like something that keeps you calm or controls your nerves type thing. So yeah, I always like vitamin E. And then the other one was MSM, which I think she'll bring up a little bit later as well, or we talked about already, one or the other. And we did like MSM, my sister and I, when we tried it. The only thing is it kind of puts your body in the growth phase, and I need to write that down because we totally need a video on the hair growth phases. So let me write that down real quick. I was thinking about that today. That's important. You definitely need to know that. But yes, it puts your whole body kind of in a growth phase. So sometimes you can grow. The thing was, when we were doing more research, it was like you can grow hair everywhere. And as a lady, you don't want to grow hair everywhere. You just want to target one spot. So kind of stopped taking that for a little bit. But yes. And I feel like there's one other thing. But maybe not. I feel like there is one other thing now that I just thought of that maybe we took. So I like those. They do say biotin may or may not work. I don't know. We did take it. We did see a lot of growth that year. But there's like mixed reviews on biotin. So up to you. So step 1, get a dietary supplement or vitamins. And this is also why people who take prenatal pills or who are pregnant, they usually grow their hair out a little bit longer and their nails as well, because it has that extra supplement in it. Number 2, maintaining a hair regimen of natural ingredients. So for further nutrition and to strengthen your strands, it ensures less breakage. We talked about breakage Monday. So if you did not get that video about why certain hair types grow longer, make sure you check that out. Well, that was Monday, I mean, yes. Natural ingredients create a gentle sealant that locks in moisture, and it does not block your pores or create a synthetic layer for buildup on the strands. And like I said before, sometimes some products, they leave something on your hair. So it feels good, it feels better, but it actually didn't repair your hair. So of course, trying hair products that are as natural as possible help you out a little bit more, because the things that they're using in it is a little bit better for repairing your hair and not just making it look better. So you want your products to be as natural as possible. But like I was saying before the video got messed up yesterday, for me though, it's really odd, because many times my hair and even my skin likes things that are synthetic. Like using natural stuff is just too strong and too harsh for me. And that's one of the reasons why I can't use oils really. I can't use coconut oil, any of those great oils that people say is so good and so, awesome for your hair and your hair growth and all those things. I can't use it. It's hard for me. So even though you do want to keep it as natural and simple as possible, sometimes you do have to do what works best for you. But I would say, if you have a choice between choosing a product, hey girl, if you have a choice between choosing a product that is has a lot of synthetic ingredients and only has a little bit synthetic ingredients, then obviously go with the one that has the least amount. But yeah, I'm one of those strange people where honestly my hair kind of takes all natural stuff and and all natural products, and kind of it does the opposite for me. Like, it bothers me and it irritates me. But hey, Shades of Sage, we missed you. All right, number 1 is supplements, vitamins. Number 2, natural ingredients in your products. Number 3, apply daily moisture to your hair. Whether that is the daily rinsing of the hair or simply spraying the hair with the moisture-based products, it's essential to keeping up the moisture in your hair. And I talk about this all the time, y'all. Moisture is so important. So we just talked about protective styles. Please don't forget that your protective style should not be drying out. So if your protective style dries out and it stays dried out for days, then you're doing the opposite. So you do want to keep your hair nice and moisturized, even in your protective style, unless you have something like locks where you're trying to form your locks. If you're still in the early lock stages, a couple of years you've only had them, you're still trying to form them, then maybe you could let your hair be a little drier than others. But if you're doing like a protective style, it should not be completely drying out. So Shades of Sage is on here, so that's nice. So maybe she can share her experience as well. But I know when we did I think you did it too, Sheen, but I'm not sure. But when we did the whole year of just keeping our heads covered, I had my hair in like 5 or 6 chunky twists, because my hair is way too curly to be in little small twists. It would just, the takeout of it would just be bad for me, because everything would get tangled. But I had it in really chunky twists, and I was able to wet my hair every time I took a shower, which was so nice, because you know, most of us with extra curly hair, especially when we're styling our hair, we don't wet our hair every time we get in the shower. Most times we get in the shower, our hairstyle is already what we want it to be. So we get in the shower and hope that the shower don't cause our natural hair to start reverting. So we cover our head a lot in the shower, or wear a shower bonnet, or in my case a scarf, something to keep the moisture out. So if you do go on a natural hair care regimen and you do something like we did, where we wore a scarf or something like that, and you have your hair in a way where you don't care about the style and you're just trying to grow it out, then maybe you could try that. I love that, being able to wet my hair every single day. It was just so nice. It was just so nice and so freeing and so relaxing. I really do like that, and I kind of miss it, because it was really, really nice. So if you have natural hair, please try it out. Like, we did it for a whole year, but maybe you could do it for like just a month or something and see how you feel. Like, not worry about preserving a hairstyle, just let your hair get wet every single day. You know, beyond just spraying it, but like letting running water go through it. It's just so special. So I'm definitely a proponent of that. So number 1, supplements. Number 2, natural products. Number 3, keeping your hair moisturized and applying moisture every single day, somehow, some way. And of course, don't forget, if you're using oil, oil needs water for it to do its job. So you can't just put oil on dry hair. So be mindful of that. Number 4 is increased circulation. Creating an active metabolism increases the flow of blood throughout the body, and this increases nutrients to the part of the cuticle that actually forms the hair. So frequent scalp massages also benefit the scalp as well as the hair, because it releases tension and increases circulation to the scalp. This is another thing that we absolutely tried, is scalp massages. Love scalp massages as well. Not everybody has a tight scalp, and honestly, most of the heads that I work on, they don't have a tight scalp. But me, I have a tight scalp. Like, even when I go to massage it, like don't move. Like it take a while for me to massage it. It don't move. Like my scalp just don't move. So, but that's something to be mindful of, because if you feel like you have dry hair or dry scalp, it may be that maybe if you add some scalp massages, that will help out, because it will increase the blood flow to your hair and the nutrients to your hair, which will allow it to go to all of your strands, all of that beautiful stuff, and you may see a difference in how your hair feels and how it looks. So scalp massages, love that, and that is something that we definitely tried, and I really like it. And again, that's something that people sometimes say, oh, it doesn't make a difference, but I do think that it makes a difference, especially if you're somebody like me who has a tight scalp, which not everybody does, but some of us do, and so we need that extra circulation to help our scalp remember, hello, you're supposed to be carrying nutrients throughout my hair. So I do think that's a good one. All right, number 1 is vitamins, supplements. 2 is natural ingredients in your products. 3 is moisture. 4 is increase in circulation. We have 2 more, I believe. Which number 5 is oil steaming with natural oils. It infuses the hair with proteins, which strengthen the hair and reduce breakage. Because again, it's all about reducing breakage. And natural oils do not need caustic ingredients found in normal shampoos to wash them off. But if you do have locks, be careful. Because whatever you put in your hair, it can potentially stay in there. So if you're putting too much oils in your hair and you have locks or you're forming locks, remember that they can stay in there and it can cause a lot of buildup. At the same time, for those of you lovely people that can use oil, you know, if you find a good oil that really works with you and really works for your hair, you can go ahead and try it. And of course, look up some different methods. And I think we did talk about some already, about like oil steaming, hot oil treatments, those type of things. Again, oils and I don't mix. So if it doesn't work for you, don't do it. I tried to do a hot oil treatment probably like 3 or 4 times in my life. And every single time, terrible. Like every single time. And I tried it different ways. I tried different methods. But 1, me and oil don't mix. 2, it wasn't good. And actually my hair would in turn be drier. So again, that's why I'm like, it's very important to try to learn your hair and see what works, because what works for one does not work for all. But you do want something that is kind of moisturizing. For me, I know a lot of my hair products, I like for it to have glycerin in it, because I know glycerin is a humectant that will allow moisture from the environment to get into my hair, but in a good way. All right, and number 6, which I think is our very last one, is a complete natural solution. So, and this is probably my favorite one. Sometimes it may not be possible to achieve a particular style with an all-natural product, and that is okay. The key is to sustain a general habit of all natural. Well, let me read this part first. So it says, for this challenge, you may want to take some notes, because right now, a clear, concise regimen, you have something to work with and hold yourself accountable. But always remember that natural ingredients add nutrients. It benefits your strands in several ways, but mass-produced products with synthetic ingredients could mask the issue and give you the illusion of healthy hair, at least until your next wash. So much is being said here. For one, the reason why I really like number 6, which says a complete natural solution, is because it does, it just alludes to the fact that if you want to accelerate your hair growth, or if you're trying to do something different, like your hair has been the same length for years and you're like, okay, I need to get it to a new length, then you have to do something different, and you have to do something many times a little drastic. And again, for me, hey Dad, how are you? For me, and those of us with the very, very curly hair, less is more. And by less, I mean not too many crazy products that we're trying out on our hair, not too much manipulation. If you can stand it, and there are, if you can stand it and you can do something where like maybe you're not showing your hair for a while, and that just gives you time to just work on your hair, you know, privately, instead of being worried about styling it every day. Because if we're going to show our hair to people, we want it to be in a style that we think is presentable. But if you can sacrifice and do something like wear your hair completely covered, and many people, especially in our religion, many people already do that. They wear their hair covered like all the time, and all of their hair. So why not take that as an opportunity for you to really work on your hair? Sacrifice not styling it for a little bit and take that time to work on your hair. And if you are trying to use all natural products, many times, sometimes those all natural products don't have as strong of a hold as other products. But again, if you're trying to accelerate hair growth, or if you're trying to do something where you're trying to move away from a plateau of your hair always being the same length, you just might have to make a change, and you might have to sacrifice. So maybe instead of having a really defined 2-strand twist out, you settle in a sense for a fluffy twist out. So you might not be able to do all of your styles, or instead of blow drying it super hot heat, maybe you settle Thank you, Shades of Sage. Maybe you settle for blow drying it on medium heat or blow drying it on cool so that you're not overly heating your hair. So sometimes you do have to make sacrifices. I think I don't know if Shades of Sage talked about this on her channel or if we talked about it before, but it's just the idea that sometimes people are like, well, I don't want long hair if I have to always keep it a 2-strand twist, or if I can't style it, or if I can't do it, whatever the case may be. But if you are trying to make a difference, sometimes you do have to make that sacrifice. And like I often say, I really think about hair care the same way as people the same way it is when you have to diet. Like if you're gonna diet, you want to lose weight, you have to change how you eat. You can't just eat the same way you've always been eating. You have to change how you eat. You can't eat whatever you want. You can't eat however you want. You have to be specific. And if you are losing weight, and a lot of times they say like when you get down to the last 10 pounds of what you want to lose or whatever the case may be, you might get to a plateau to where your body is not losing weight anymore and you've been doing the same thing. So now you have to try something drastic to kind of throw your body off and get it to start letting go of the weight all over again. But you make sacrifices to lose the weight, and it's the same thing with your hair. If you want your hair to grow longer or you want to accelerate your growth and try to retain as much length as possible, sometimes you got to sacrifice styling it and doing certain styles. And if you're trying to, yeah, that's what people say, like what's the point of having long hair if it's always in a protective style? And I half agree and kind of I understand it. But at the same time, I feel like if you're trying to do something, it's not for your whole life, right? Like you don't have to wear your hair in a protective style every day of your life. But if you block out a few months or you block out a year like we did, which was really hard, and we both say like, I am not trying to do that again. But if it matters to you, you really want to try something different, then see how much time can you block off and just really focus on your hair. Really care about your hair and not be so interested in styling it and manipulating it as much, because you really will see more growth than you constantly messing around with it. And especially if you watch my video like I did before, like I just did on Monday, especially if you have extra curly hair and you have tons of breaking points. The truth is we just can't do everything all the time with our hair because we're always risking breaking it off because it has so many different levels that it can break in. So you just gotta be careful. But yes, and then like we said before, be mindful that if you're using a product that's mass produced, then sometimes they give you an illusion of healthy hair, but it's not always healthy hair. And that's why sometimes after a wash, your hair looks really, really bad. And we talked about that earlier in this book. Your hair might look really, really bad after a wash, but that's because now you have stripped away like all of the natural nutrients and things that your hair produces and scalp produces on its own. You kind of strip those things all away. So just be mindful of that. So if you want to go on this hair growth regimen, those are the six things you can do. Add a supplements like herbs or vitamins, extra herbs or vitamins. Try to keep your products as natural and clean as possible. Apply moisture to your hair every day as much as possible, and if possible, even running water. Increase circulation, scalp massages, love those. Oils, having a complete natural solution, and that does mean sometimes sacrificing hair growth. There was one more thing I saw in here that made me think of something. I don't know, but hopefully it will come to me. Oh, the part where they were talking about just kind of keeping your ingredients natural. Somebody asked me what conditioner did I use, and I just want to point out for those of you that are natural and don't have locks, I literally, when I had loose natural hair, I was only putting in 2 things in my hair. 3 if you include the shampoo, which was whatever shampoo I was using, For a while I was using a vitamin E shampoo from that one company, but they pulled that shampoo, so I don't think it's a good one to be using. But and then I used Giovanni's Deeper Moisture Conditioner, and I was using aloe vera, and I was using a conditioner to condition my hair after a wash, but I would never rinse it out. I would just leave it in it and use that to style my hair as well. So I only had 3 products, and that was just like a very simple routine for me, and it was good for my hair. So yes, if you can get 3 staple products or any staple products, keeping it simple always helps, because then you know which ones your hair really likes, besides switching between a whole bunch of products. So yes, y'all, if you're interested, go ahead and try out these 6 steps. Hopefully next time we'll talk about what to do every single... She gives you different, I guess, modules that you could do. Looks like 2 different modules, and then she's going to give you a week by week practice and a month by month practice on what you can do for your hair. And then I think we'll finally be almost, maybe, probably a little bit done. But yes, so we'll just keep reading. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. But hopefully this helps. A lot of that stuff we did try, and it did absolutely work out great, which is why we're sharing the book. But I hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Any other video ideas you might want to see, go ahead and let me know, or questions. And until next time, thank you for all of you that logged on. Until next time, adios.